Peace, greetings, greetings, greetings. Give honor to Source, Prime Source, Mama Oracle. I want to just give gratitude to the ancestors known and unknown, especially to the matriarchal, because now we're the foundations of the matriarchal, the feminine aspect, the returning of Mama Oracle, the universe, like everything's coming back into balance. I'm just so honored. I'm honored to be a messenger. And so by me being a messenger, I want to share something with you all about just about, if I don't deliver this message, it's like you get like a, you know, some of you know, you get the message, or, you know, you get that in the spirit, that whoop back. Anywho, I got to get this out. This is very vital. And this is a very, a message that, delayed message actually, but now it's important now that I get it out. This is pertaining to a lot of which my mother shared with me, the mother I came through, and or my path with other women that I met. Let me express to you, a lot of you women that are probably on your healing journey, ancestrally, and coming into the awareness of like betrayals, past life, things connected to, you know, spirit. And all this is purposeful. Let me tell you, it's not to, no one can like skip over karma in a way. No one could outrun it. And the importance of this is that one thing my mom shared with me about her experience when she gave birth to me. She mentioned how after she had me, she said she almost like died or transitioned giving birth to me. Her only son in a way. But an importance of that is that her words were like, after she delivered me, and, you know, she was expressing how the doctor that I guess helped her deliver was playing in her insides. And when I mean playing, that means like playing in her insides. And she specifically told me, she said she had to call out for my dad. He ran in there, and something like along down the lines, like he was going to jump on the doctor or he's going to fight him. This is not my only experience with women who have been through this. There's other women I met that also had traumatic experiences, which one sister expressed to me how she was cut unexpectedly without her permission, not allowing the baby to come naturally, not allowing her water to break, and something along down the lines where it wasn't natural. Also, I met another woman that is a friend of my mother's. She has like, I think, it's 11 or 12 kids. And that's not a lot, people, let me tell you. Because our ancestors, people had wait like 20, 30 kids or whatever. Some of them did. But anywho, she also expressed stories to me about how her ovaries was removed without her permission. Now, if it's meant, and I trust that eventually it'll happen, my mom, the mother I came through, will actually speak about this. You know, maybe she'll have the courage to speak about how there's her and other women sued or tried to get justice for her ovaries also being removed, and other women. And let me tell you something from the divine. We are not supposed to get cut on. naturally, spirit is all about things holistic. So let me express something to you women. This message may not resonate with all, but it's not about that. The natural way of everything is holistic. I was speaking to someone, and I know people like, well, you're a man, you're da-da. Certain people are given knowledge of things to share, and through my experiences with the mother of the child that we had, through my experiences seeing the trauma and the carelessness of the hospitals. And I'm going to let you know, the hospital is the first place to be corrupted. You're seeing the world broadcast a corruption upon this land. This is judgment. This is divine judgment. There are a lot of women that don't have the courage to speak about this. From my mother telling me this, and then from the mother of the child I co-created with someone, to how do you think as humans or people that it's okay for a woman to go into an establishment, to have a baby on her back, not natural, and going against the flow of life? How do you think that that is natural? And not only that, draining you of your blood, which is your oxygen. And not only that, they drain you of all this blood, then expect you to get your ass up 2-3 days later or whatever and just walk out of the hospital. And for most of you don't know, because there's going to be people from all cultures around the world that will see this message. Melanated women, or if you want to call them African American women, have the highest death rate when it comes to pregnancy. What does that say? What does that really say about hospitals? Do you really care? And then it goes as deeper as how even the father's not being there. Also, it's accountability on both parts. It's a psychological thing. When you try to tell women how they should be and, you know, induce them with epidural, then now years later, these women are affected by this long ass needle that you stick in their backs. When you cut on them and then their tissue never heals. I'm just a messenger. I'm not here to get the focus on people's emotions is just to feel like you should accept this. No, this is about divine justice. This is about what has been going on, and now the karma, and then now the judgment is here. The medical industry has nothing to do with them failing us. It was never designed for people that look like me. The mental illness where you give people drugs, where you give people these things, and now mentally they don't even know who they are. Hospice is where people go to die. You telling me there's a difference between a doctor or what you call them practitioners than anything that's dealing with spiritual practices? These same names that have been adopted or changed. But again, to the mothers that have been affected by this, Spirit sees you. We see you. We love you. Because we know you don't have the courage sometimes to speak about this. And some women are still traumatized by their experiences in the hospital. And these people know what goes on. Now you're going to be judged. You're accountable for that. It's a business. People get cut on. They get thousands, tens of thousands, or probably more for you to cut on them. Even when you use the gel that goes on their stomach. This is from experience and seeing this. And then you use that vibration to make the baby move. When naturally the baby and the mother work hand in hand. I know this is tough for a lot of women. But this is stories that I've heard. When you research and learn about how this the hospital was first to exploit women in everything they do. They exploited women. Then it was used to devalue them. Then it was used to destroy everything about them, so they knew not to go about birthing or honoring their body, honoring their waters, working hand in hand with the baby, because the placenta, again, is created before the baby. And so this is why they know the importance of clipping that placenta. Because most people don't know my experience of holding that umbilical cord and feeling the heartbeat, feeling the energy, realizing that in those tubes are the same thing that helps the baby feed and then flushes things out, and these stem cells that is helping also not itself, but the mother, the transformation that happens internally, the beauty that happens with creation. You got to be out your fucking mind if you think a computer is more advanced and intelligent than me. I'm a divine creation. So I realize the women that are unconscious or that will come into this awareness, that now that are returning to their spiritual practices, this is most importantly, honor your spiritual practice. Honor that shit. There's statues. There's my partner and I, we went to a museum and we saw like old statues in museums where they had a baby and the baby was breastfeeding. There was a statue. These are the natural way, the holistic way. And that's what you're seeing return to the earth now. Things that are more of a holistic way, connecting spirit to the physical. Not to mention, I see you all. The medical industry is falling. All the corrupted stuff about this place is falling. It is no more. It's all being judged. That's why you're seeing the people walking away and you know, they need the help. No, it's corrupted. The school systems, all these things. You try to corrupt the mother. The mother is the first teacher. You try to corrupt the feminine. And see, I tell you all, especially women, mama is the first teacher of the son. Then the son becomes the father. Then the father protects and sees the daughter. And then the daughter again is the mother, because she will become the mother. Then that cycle continues. Where's the accountability, mothers? This is why you're going through your healing. This is why I have to rise in my own divinity and rise in my own power in these moments, because spirit has made me aware of these things. It's not for people to like and accept. No. You expect people to hate and dislike or whatever. At the same time, what's in my heart comes out of my mouth. This is love. Love is going to illuminate the corruption, the unrighteous. Some people are going to cling to what man has done. And he was created for that purpose, to corrupt. He was corrupted, so he corrupted others. Then now what? His corruption leads to his destruction. So now you are witnessing an old empire falling. It created itself. It destroyed itself. Now I'm giving you truth, love, and justice. You see these women go through this. Numerous of women. You give them poison. You don't want them to breastfeed because everything that comes naturally from the body, the nutrients, even the placenta, naturally comes from the body. All the nutrients is in that placenta. Notice the placenta looks like a tree of life. You've been treating these women like lab rats. It's a laboratory. It's a hospital. You get all their blood and you go study. You go study people. You've been studying the original woman, the original man for lifetimes. Now what? You will never know who we truly are as people. See, this is the thing about a power struggle. You never had any power. See, now the truth and the love and it's returning. The truth shall spring from the earth. And see, now people are realizing this. They're becoming aware. Everybody's, oh shit, this is, yes. And especially people that have had their hand in this. You cannot run. You cannot hide. but it's what women have went through. Different shades, but most importantly, the ancient melanated woman. Where's your apologies to these women knowing what you've done? There's no amount of money that can pay for their tears. The stuff that they had to go on to when you pushed them out. The hospitals. These places. And y'all still try to go to these places like they're really taking care of you? Where you don't have your mental. Where's your spiritual security? And they're trying to tell you who to be, how to be, and, you know, these places, these schools, these places don't tell you how to love yourself and honor your spiritual, you know, practices. Everything you do is a ritual. Rite Aid, R-I-T-E. Come on, people. Midwives specifically told me and my partner, before you even do anything with the hospital, that is a medical way. Then you have the holistic way. Everything that's been teaching y'all, oh, this is dark, this is evil. They taught you that. Yeah, about yourself. How does that make sense? Make it make sense. You don't see the beauty of how a man can carry the light, the sperm, and enter a woman. And then from that sperm, through the cycles of life, through the moon cycles, and you're thinking life begins when that baby arrives. Let me tell you something. That heartbeat, that placenta is created, then that placenta, oh my, it's so beautiful. Creation is amazing. And this is to my mothers that didn't have a man there. You are loved by mama. You are loved by spirit. You are loved and received. Because a lot of women are still going through that. Traumatically. The presence of that man to protect you from the things that happen in those places. I get it. They couldn't take me when I went, like, experience. I'm telling you some real shit. I got kicked out because it was my light. They were intimidated by my size and who I looked like, everything. It didn't go as well as I wanted to, but it was more the corruption to see, even no matter what woman in there, to see people go through that treatment. You have that baby, next thing you know, they coming in and like, hey, we need your blood. We need you to do this. We need you to do this. Different person, different this. This woman has not even became aware. Like, she just realized, can you let her bask in a moment? She just pushed out a whole baby. A whole being. And then for some of them, they didn't even get the fucking chance. Some women didn't even get the chance. Because it was ripped from them. I've heard so many stories of women. Like, stuff is going to come out, bro. Babies being removed and don't even know if it's theirs. And babies, like, they want to touch their babies and they already, like, immediately move them to another room or something. And people got to see their babies through a glass. Not realizing how important touch is. That baby know you, nobody else. Someone told me, they said, you know, the first child, the first eyes that baby lays eyes on when they enter this world, they see them as they're everything, like in the God complex, and like everything to them. That's their first experience here. Some people experience, you have to realize, mothers, a lot of you are healing so much trauma to where even your ancestors, your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, they had to have birth through fear, through trauma, through experiences where they were forced upon. A lot of these mothers had babies where they were raped. And you are loved. A lot of these women, y'all have no idea some of the shit they've experienced. I met women, elders, they were forced upon, and they had to have their kids. They chose to. And they did everything to love them, to receive them, to be with them. Some women don't even have the courage. Some women can't even have kids. All I'm saying is, like, man and woman is not separate. You're going to realize the importance of feminine and masculine energy. If mama's the first teacher, then it's the son, then it's the father, the daughter. These are energies. So we're learning, we're healing the feminine principle of ourselves, the daughter. Then we're going to see the importance of the father. And now it's mama and son. Because mama is the first teacher. This is why certain men are rising up to speak about this, because we know the importance of honoring that femininity, that energy that is within us all. I had to go through things painfully to experience the importance now of how vital it is to be loved by a woman that looks like me, to be received by a woman that looks like me, to be spoken to in a graceful and beautiful way by a woman who looks like me, who's darker than me, because the world has been teaching me, and it's not even her fault. It's not your fault. To the mothers out there, you are not to blame. This day forward, do not beat yourself up. You are not to blame for what you've experienced, because had you not experienced it and you're here now, that means you can change it. Because your healing is your children's healing, is your daughter's healing, is your son's healing. I had to realize this with them, to see my mom go through that and her to speak about that. And then now for me to even try to be that, while she's on my journey or on my path, for me to try to even be that healed man, that man that loves himself, that man that tried to speak to her in a graceful and a beautiful and a peaceful way, in a loving way, the best way I possibly can. See, this ain't just about just a lot of, y'all not realize a lot of our ancestors, they had babies they didn't want to have. Do you realize the trauma that we're healing? Do you realize the programming that we're releasing ourselves from? The conditioning of being told. It's a psychological thing, my beautiful women, man. And it does so much when a man is not there. Because that aspect of a man is the aspect of a father. That's why the focus so big is trying to divide the family, divide the tribes, divide the people. This is why we're returning to the essence, the spiritual way, the natural way of things, the tribal way, to bring forth healing to ourselves and our lineages and then the future lineages. But everybody want to act like, man, fuck all that love, that love and light shit, when people don't realize that your way of maneuvering through the darkness, not just through the physical, but from the womb into the physical. The protection you had to have for some of us to even be here. Do you not realize that? There's women that has been killed when they were pregnant. There's women that have died with giving birth. Man, it's so much as the women have sacrificed, especially the melanated woman. Don't confuse the message with the messenger. How fucking dare this world try to frown upon the women that's the original woman? How can y'all do that? You owe these women an apology, because some of y'all know, no matter what complexion you are, some of you know your hand that you've had. Even I had to acknowledge that. With the mother I came through, then seeing her pain, and her pain became my pain, until I realized I had to be the one to change that. I had to be the one to acknowledge that. I had to be the one to stand up to her and let her know this is what it is. But we don't have to live like that. I had to accept that, because I realize now the trauma that she has been carrying, how she neglected herself. And then how the mother I came through, attracted men that only wanted to give her pain. And then some of the kids now, you know, being that we have this knowledge and wisdom now to mirror that back to our so we can see the awareness of being a guardian in the spirit. That's what a guardian is. Not a parent. This illusion of pay rent. That's wordplay. But all that stuff. Like, no, we are guardians. That's important. When you see a lion and a lioness, and when you start to see the importance of what a lioness does to protect her cubs, see, a lot of y'all are coming into this awareness. These people don't care and want to protect your kids. For what? If they've been feeding them and giving, I went through this. Feeding you, giving all this stuff your whole life, and you know what I'm saying? And if the hospital's corrupt, what makes you think the schools and everything about this isn't? And it's not your fault. I get it when the father was removed. See, this has been ongoing, mothers. You have to see the accountability. How if I see it, then the mother has to take accountability in her part. That's a part of the awakening in people. When they start to see like, yo, this stops with me. When you create a family, that stops with me. Wondering why generation after generation, you know, why we're not prospering. Because our concept and our mind is centered around what other people that don't even look like us, or that have no connection to source or spirit, keeping people in the loop. And now you change that ideology of what being prosperous is. Being wealthy or rich or all these material things, that has something to do with internalizing. If something is created within you, where do you think the power comes from, mamas? Men. Why do you think we're going through this and we're elevating this whole way of being? It's because we're changing the whole concept. This is why the focus has been so much on the feminine and women. The attack on them, because now they're getting it. This is it. And then there's going to be men that we get it. But if I don't hold you accountable and not hold myself accountable, then what? That's when the healing begins. You have to see your role in this. Mothers, you play a role, because you show these little young kings what they're going to experience and what they should experience and accept in all women. And then our part as well. If I don't change this, then how would any of what the seeds that I create that come into this world, how would they know the importance and be accountable? See, the thing about changing and this thing is falling apart is because the more we are secure spiritually, then there's more the woman can trust her body, her intuition, her inner guidance, her love. She can love herself now. She can honor who she is within herself, instead of depending on the ideas and opinions of people that have no connection to spirit. Have no idea what it is to, you know, feel what you feel. And I'm telling you from experience, man still has a connection. The father still has a connection to the daughter, just as the mother has a connection to the son. That means we're all connected. Had I not known what it is to see what my mom went through, not just physically, but spiritually, that took a toll on me. That I carry that. Then now I'm seeing it in my sisters. They carry that. What they seen, what my mom went through with men, they carry that image. And so they carry that image. So sometimes some women want to have nothing to do with men after that. And this is what happens when they, you know, people are, you know, women get raped or they're forced upon. They feel like a part of them is taken, is removed, and they don't know how to value that. And so they look for their emotional support because the mother didn't give them emotional support. And they, you know, sometimes they go into same, you know, go speak, I mean, go, get it out, you know, in relationships with women. Not say all, but it's a part of the emotional support, because women master emotion, men master logic. And this is not to point the finger at everyone. I experienced things like that, trying to seek and find myself. But then when I realized that my role here and my importance, I realized that I carry both feminine energy and masculine energy. But what I carried was an unhealed version. What I carried was trauma. What I carried was dark and, you know, malicious ways of trying to hurt other people, because I was hurting inside at that moment in the past. And I was trying to, you know, at the same moment, look for that love, look for that, you know, way of feeling again. Feeling, you know, being fulfilled and loved. Then you get to that place where you realize, like, no one can do that but me. I had to learn to be everything for me first. And see, once I become aware of that, then the seeds that I create become aware of that. They don't walk in fear. They walk in love, knowing that their purpose here is to walk in love. See, a lot of our women, again, the purpose of this healing and this shift that's taking place in this age of information, this golden age, is for you to realize that the love is who you are. The princess is who you are. Your character. Who are you? What do you value the most? How do you value you? How do you really see you when you look in the mirror, when you look at the water, when you go somewhere and you see that reflection, that pure reflection? What do you see? Do you see yourself in nature? Do you see the beauty in all things? Can you really see yourself in other women? That you'd be surprised you sit with them and learn about them. Same thing with me. A lot of our women, I get it. I get some of you can only see the pain when you see me. But sometimes, you know, you realize there's a reflection. And it's only because of what you've experienced with men, which is probably rooted in what you've experienced with your father, or whatever men that you've experienced certain things with. Have you acknowledged those demons? Have you acknowledged that darkness? Are you willing to rise above that? Even the people that have caused you much pain and agony. Same with my men. Are you ready to rise above that? I remember Pac said it the best. He said, it's time for us to heal our women, be real to our women. You know, this is the moments. And what he said after that, if we don't, we have a race of babies that will hate the ladies that make the babies. What's happening right now? They're trying to do everything to take away the natural way of how we all arrive here. And that's through the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. Mother, Father, Child. That's the Holy Trinity that's rising. Because how else would anyone arrive here? This is not a debate for anybody to tell me anything. That's the natural way. That's creation. That's just what it is. Know who you are. Know thyself. Love thyself. Be true to you. Peace and blessings. Shalom.